Hello, Steve White, Trekboy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, we are up to the 9th episode of Lower Decks, so out of 10. So we're near the end of season 4. The episode's called The Inner Fight, and they finally have the big reveal of who has been going around kidnapping crews all season. And spoilers, it's not that interesting. I was really disappointed. I thought they might create some new character or some big threat or something. All it is Nick Locarno, who was in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. He was one of Wesley's school buddies in Starfleet Academy, and they were doing this really dangerous formation to try and impress the other cadets, and they ended up killing someone, and Wesley ended up coming out and telling the truth about it, but they had tried to hide what had happened to protect the legacy of, the squadron, all this crap. And basically one of the characters from that, who later went on to be in Next Generation, who got a hard time from Picard because of her history, and went on to be a really great officer, but ended up dying in that episode, Lower Decks. Apparently she knew Mariner, so Mariner actually knew Nick. So, and we don't really know what his agenda was, what the point of all this was. We just find out at the end of the episode that it's him, and that Mariner knows him and how. And they get into sort of trying to give Mariner a backstory, because really this whole series, she's just been this really annoying character who I just couldn't stand. I mean, I like all the other characters. I mean, Tindy, they kind of ruined Tindy because she was kind of cute and innocent, but then they revealed that that's all just an act and she's fake, and really she's this warrior from her own world who just wants to be someone else, but she's not really that character. So it keeps getting undermined whenever she needs to sort of be tough. They show who she really is, and they sort of ruined that character. But the other characters like Rutherford and Boilerman, and I know I say his name wrong, but I don't care. I kind of like them, but I really hated Mariner the whole time. Her mother was good. I wanted her mother to put her in her place, and she never kind of did. She was always weak, and she always sort of let her get away with stuff. So I just hated the character. She's got away with everything. It was a horrible character. But they try to give her a backstory now where apparently she knew this character, and because she wasn't as good as the other character, she got a lesser posting, and she survived, whereas this other girl was the best and got posted on the Enterprise and died, and she had some sort of survivor's guilt, and that's why she's got this death wish, and she's just an a-hole. And I'm like, it doesn't really explain, it doesn't really work. And doing that in the 4th season because her character isn't working, trying to retroactively explain them rather than have this be part of the backstory the whole time, is really obvious, and didn't really do it. So it didn't really work for me. Nothing really worked for me. I was like pretty disappointed. Now, this show overall, I think the only reason why I've given it a bit of a chance is because ultimately, although it's animated, it does take place in the Star Trek universe. You can tell that they've got different rights issues with this animated show than they do with the live action shows. And I kind of felt like even though it was animated and a parody of Star Trek, it still was sort of Star Trek in a way. So it just looks the same. The ships, the characters, everything, it looks like Star Trek. So I sort of gave it a bit of a bit more of a chance than some of the other ones. But ultimately it's been disappointing because it didn't really go anywhere. It didn't really find its own identity. It just is just a parody of Star Trek, and all it does is just regurgitate things that have already been in Star Trek and make fun of them. Like, for example, the character of Nick is sort of, they're making fun of the fact that they reuse actors in Star Trek sometimes, and they rewrote this character because the original character they were going to use in Voyager, wasn't going to be Tom Paris, it was going to be Nick. But once they realised how much they'd have to pay the writer for the residuals and everything, and that to use that character for 7 seasons, they just decided it'd be easier just to rewrite the character and cast the same actor and have basically the same character, but just make it technically a different character with a different name and everything. And they're sort of making fun of and having a go at Star Trek there. So unlike something like the Orville, which also was like a parody of Star Trek, it was at least trying to be the best of Star Trek. It never sort of found its voice either, but it was at least trying to be the best, like trying to be next gen, whereas this show just makes fun of it. So so basically all these characters are being sent to this planet which got a really dangerous environment, and Mariner and everyone except Rutherford are stuck there, and you sort of see they're trying to get these people to work together, and eventually Mariner gets beamed off, and that's when she finds out it's Nick. Before that, Rutherford is just on this Tatooine style planet where we actually see a real Gorn, and they find this Baylock alien, which is really cool because I always thought the Baylock alien was an alien, but he was just using like a puppet of an alien that existed. So I always thought those aliens were out there, but now we actually see that he's actually alien. But then they sort of make fun of the size of the body and make it like, well, he's just hiding like the puppet. So it's kind of stupid, but it kind of is cool, but it's kind of stupid because it doesn't really work when you think about it. But that's like most of the show. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the next episode. I don't know how they're going to make it really interesting because only the Access Media, the stands, got the first 8 episodes. They didn't actually get these last 2 episodes because they're trying to keep it a secret. So people like me who do real reviews would never get access and get videos and episodes in advance. But the Access Media, the stands did, but they only gave them the first 8 because they were trying to hide this like some big secret. And I'm like, it's not that interesting a reveal. So I guess that's it for the episode. I can't think of anything else interesting that happened in it. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.